We look at Korea's main industries and foreign investor success stories to present Korea's outstanding investment environment. Explore potential opportunities to grow with Korea. Hello, I'm Shin Ah-young. The electronicization of auto parts for internal combustion engine cars we've seen for the past 100 years is accelerating. Electric, hydrogen, and autonomous vehicles that we envisioned as future cars are already part of our reality. Then how far have Korea's own future cars come? Amid the muted growth of the world's internal combustion engine vehicle industry, set off by the COVID-induced economic downturn in the US, Europe, and China, the paradigm has been shifting towards CASE. 3.24 million electric vehicles were sold worldwide in 2020, which is a 43% increase from the previous year. Even in Korea, it's now easy to spot electric cars and hydrogen cars on the roads. The automotive industry has already entered a period of great change that will expand the bounds of the industry endlessly. Eco-friendly cars, such as electric vehicles, make use of powerful batteries. Korea holds an advantageous position in the battery market as a secondary cell manufacturing powerhouse. Its exports of lithium-ion batteries are recording an annual average of a 20% growth rate. Korea also boasts the world's best quality telecommunication network, which is vital to the connectivity of autonomous cars. Prospects are bright for the Korean future car industry. The Korean government aims to make Korea the most competitive force in the future automotive industry by 2030 and has presented a roadmap to achieve this, creating new opportunities for growth. The government will invest 286.8 billion won until 2030 to accelerate the transition of 1,000 auto parts suppliers to future vehicle businesses, foster 10,000 workers in the future car industry, and continue to support global, fully built vehicle manufacturers and new players to pioneer new markets. Korea's three-dimensional strategies, including the expansion of export infrastructure through KOTRA support for entering GVCs, GP centers, and RBD centers, will not only help the growth of Korea's future vehicle industry, but also offer new promises and opportunities to foreign invested companies. Upon this foundation, many multinational future vehicle companies are already in operation in Korea. We're going to meet one of them, a company that's reinforcing its competitiveness in the future car market through extensive R&D investments, BMW Korea. Many multinational future car-related companies are already in operation in Korea. BMW Korea is one of them, and they're one of the most technologically innovative companies that's leading the changes in the global auto industry. And they've enjoyed immense success here in Korea. Come with me to find out how they successfully entered the Korean market and managed to stay here. You are currently leading the BMW Startup Garage. So tell us about that.
That is right. So with the BMW Startup Garage, we do so-called proof of concept projects together with Korean startups and any of the departments within the BMW Group worldwide. So this is not just aimed at our vehicles, our products, but also our services and business processes, whether it be IT or whether it be production or logistics. So literally anywhere in the company where there's a demand, a startup can contribute to it. And that's a really new thing for BMW, which we have been doing now for about 5 to 6 years.
But I feel like, what does BMW Korea has to gain from it?
So when we work with Korean startups, we get a very early access to top innovation. that would otherwise be not possible. For a corporate to collaborate with a startup, there's actually a lot of bureaucracy and process hurdles in between. And to overcome those, we have founded the Startup Garage program to make it very easy to work with startups, and also for the startup without any risks attached. So we do not take IP, we do not take exclusivity at that point. You could say it's a first handshake and a first step through the door into the automotive industry at BMW.
Can you tell us what projects you're currently working on at the BMW Startup Garage?
We have worked with, I think over the past 3 years, I think we've worked with 15, 20 startups closely, and we have developed very, very interesting proof of concepts, for example, in the field of internal logistics and autonomous driving, also in terms of software, for example, for our development processes. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you the exact details or the names of the startups here right now, but it's very clear to us that Korean startups can and do deliver a great contribution to our future R&D. So we will continue that and increase our investment there.
Do you like working with startups? How is it different from working with, I guess, established companies?
So with a tech office, we really work with wherever a technology may come from. We work with universities, research institutes, we work with established companies and with startups. Each of them have their unique abilities and their unique specialties. Startups in particular, I think, are really fun to work with because you can sense how much the individual founders are driven to grow their business, to grow their products. Usually those startups focus on one particular product and really want to make it a success.
Do you have any advice or tips for foreign investors who are thinking about entering the Korean market? You're perfect for this question.
If a foreign company thinks about benefiting from the innovation power of Korea, then my advice would be to set up an office here locally on site. And in the beginning, honestly, no matter how small, even a very small office can give you access to companies, to people, to innovations that are hardly accessible remotely, really. And being on site has been certainly really beneficial for the BMW Group.
That's great advice. You have to sort of feel the room.
You have to be here, to
physically
really
be here.
Yes.
Right. That's actually great advice. Okay, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. Any last words?
Thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to a post-COVID future.
Yes. Okay, thank you for your time, Mr. Klaus.
Thank you very much.
Today I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Julian Klaus, Head of Technology Office of BMW Korea. FDI Focus will be back with more information on how to successfully invest in Korea. So until next time, goodbye and good luck.